We are live. Yes. Here we go. Absolutely buzzing for this one tonight, guys. I've got my ex-teammate down at Wimbledon, the man himself, Dean Lewington, now an absolute legend at the MK Dons. As you're jumping on, give us a little fist bump, say hello, and a share would be greatly appreciated. Share this out so we can hit as many people as possible and share Dino's story. So, before we get started, I'm just going to bring Dino in. And I've purposely not had much conversation with him in the build-up to this because I have wanted to keep it specifically for the live, because it has been nearly 18 years, as we were just saying, 18 years since we have had any kind of proper communication. Social media lets you have wee chats and texts and stuff back and forward. How we doing, Jim? Thanks very much, mate. Social media lets you have better communication and things like that these days, but we've never had a proper chat. So, how we doing, Jim? Thanks a lot for jumping on. Guys, if you give this a share, that would be brilliant. And I'm just going to bring Dino in. So, here we go. We're live, Dino. You are on.
How you doing, bud?
Good, my man. Good. First of all, mate, yeah, great to see you, my fellow Ginge.
I know, where's yours gone?
Means it's well gone, mate. But yeah, lockdown's treating you harshly, mate.
It has.
My head's like upside down compared to yours. So, mate, first of all, thanks a lot for coming on. As we were just saying there, mate, 18 years, it's been a long time.
It's crazy. It's flying by, isn't it? It doesn't seem like since yesterday it was all together, really. It's crazy. It's 18 years. It's half a lifetime, isn't it?
I know, mate. I know. You look just the same, mate. Like identical.
You definitely changed. Yeah. Glasses, no hair.
No hair. No got my specs on either, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, how's things been going?
It's been alright. It's been a little bit strange. I think everyone's felt that a little bit weirdness, but it's been nice being at home. Got a little 3-month-old girl and a 3-year-old, so it's been sort of hands full really with the girls and stuff. So it's been nice to be at home and do the family side of things.
That's good, because really you're probably going to get the opportunity today. Hey, anytime like this.
I don't think so. No, it's been such a weird time. You normally get like a 6-week break in the summer, but to have this long at home and sort of to be just exclusively at home as well it's been a bit strange.
Picking up the daddy duties, mate.
Nappies and up in the night and that kind of. It's not been that good, but yeah, it's been nice in the daytime.
Good, man. Good. I was trying to jog my memory before you came on. I was trying to think of like a couple of wee situations that we were in back in the day, and I always remember like it was Scotland, England. You remember Calcutta Cup?
Rugby, yeah.
We beat you that day.
No chance.
I'm sure we beat you that day.
We was in the Fountain pub.
The Fountain, mate. Yeah.
Right,
and I was giving it. How I never got done in that day, I don't know.
You're 6'4", mate, so I don't think there's too many going in.
But good times, mate.
Yeah, they were. There was we had a nice group back then. It was a good group of lads, and it was fun. I think everyone always looks back on your youth team days as some of your best, I think, and I think ours definitely were.
Yep. Some brilliant players as well, mate.
Yeah, it was a good youth team, wasn't it? Really, I think. And the years above us had like Jeremy McAnuff and Adjuman, and then obviously Lionel didn't, unfortunately, his injuries, but he was probably the star of the show, wasn't he? And
yep.
And then Rio Coke and our year and that. So it was a good few years in there. Some good players.
Definitely. I always when I'm telling people like who was the best player who I ever seen, who I ever like in the flesh, and training every day. And obviously, he never went on to make it. It was definitely Lionel Morgan, eh?
Yeah, he was some player, wasn't he?
Unbelievable.
He was so unlucky with his injuries. He was, I mean, I would look at Nigel as being probably had the best career from that little. And no disrespect to Nigel, but I think Lionel was probably twice the player that Nigel was, and Nigel played in the Premier League for 5-6 years. So, Lionel would have had some career if he could have stayed injury free.
Yeah. He actually went to Spurs and failed a medical, didn't he? He was getting a move.
Yeah, he broke his ankle. I think he broke his ankle the night before or something like that. He had a really cruel bit of fate. Like, he'd done his knee one year, come back, and he broke. I think the day before his move there. So he had no luck with it, did he? He was he had two broken ankles and 2 knees, I think, in like 4 years or something crazy.
Yeah. Tragic. What does he do now, mate?
He was an agent. Last time I spoke to him, he was doing a bit of agency work. But that was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was the last time I had any contact with him. But he was doing a bit of agency work, but I'm not sure what he's up to now. Yeah, it's just a shame, really. Because, like you said, I always say his name, and he's just someone that no one knows about, and he should really be a household name, shouldn't he?
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I remember it was him and Jerome Thomas round about the same time, and Jerome Thomas went on to have like a decent career, and it was like he was miles ahead.
Yeah, he was some player.
Yeah. Nigel as well. Yeah, went on to have a great career.
He came back to MK last year.
Did he?
18 months ago he was back. Not changed at all. Literally not changed at all. He's just so loud, Nigel-ish. You know what I mean? Like, he's just in your ear. And he went on. He had a good career, Nigel. Really good career. Played under England, didn't he? And good time.
Good. I always remember coming to stay over at your house a couple of times, and your mum and dad taking us to like a wee Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Do you remember that wee Italian restaurant?
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it still there, mate?
They're still going. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, Louis, let's take us right back, because obviously I've got an apology to make, actually, because I said it's close to 700 appearances. It's actually 800, mate. Close to 800 appearances, which is mental, mate. Which is mental. But so take me back, because obviously you grew up in a house where your old man was a footballer, and a proper decent footballer as well. But what was it like for you growing up in that environment?
It was strange. I mean, the time he retired really early. He was player manager by the time he was 28, and so I don't really remember him seeing him play. He was managing by the time we sort of had our first memories. But obviously the managing side of him was really stressful. Like, it was he's come down sometimes after a Saturday game, and he'd be in front of the TV at 3:30 in the morning, like with the old VHS tape on, like stopping and rewinding it, and it was really sort of going through the mill of it. And it was manager of Fulham back then, when Fulham were lower leagues and not what they are now. And just remember being sort of all income. It was your whole life, it was mum as well. Like, it was just Monday to Sunday. It was just football, and the stress of it. It took over his life a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, am I right in thinking, because I've told a few people this story, but was there a photo on the wall of your dad's head squashed underneath Graham Souness's boot?
No, he did. Souness did stamp on his head, but there was a picture of Cruyff, Johan Cruyff, in the toilet.
Was it Cruyff in the toilet?
He was getting by Cruyff. Yeah.
It must have been the story that you must have told me or whatever, that Graham Souness stamped on his head. And maybe I've Googled it and seen the photo or something, I'm not sure. But I always remember that.
Yeah, he stamped on his head, and then we went to pick him up. He picked him up by his underarm here. And as he went to pick him up, pulled him.
Ripped his hairs out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, sorry, mate. On you go.
With Dad?
So just like going back, what it was like growing up?
So it was. I mean, it was good. I mean, like some holidays were down the training ground. You just had to have, like, just give us a goal and a ball, and just said sort of me and my brother just go and play, and we used to love it. You know, just hours and hours of playing football and being around sort of football players really. So we used to love it. Then I think as you get older, you're more aware of sort of how perilous the job is and all the stuff that goes with it, and you know, it's like a day-to-day existence almost for the managers. And but it's always been pretty good to us, really. You know, we've always enjoyed it, and you know, just having the Saturday and the buzz of it, and be around that has always been sort of our focus, sort of in the week, sort of thing. So you know, we've always really enjoyed it, really.
Yeah. What age were you, Dino, when you went to a pro club?
I was six or seven. Yeah, Craig, my older brother, signed for Wimbledon when he was about 8, and they just said to me, I trained for the first year without really an age group. They said, like, come and train with Craig, and then I think I signed when I was like 7 or 8, like with the teams and stuff. So I, at Wimbledon from really like a young age, really.
I mean, that is like crazy early to start. Start from about 5 in England now, though, don't they?
They're really young. Yeah, they're really young now. They get them straight out of like junior school. They're
straight out of the navy.
Yeah, they're giving them like contracts and their mum, dad cars, and you know, at 5 years old and that, they're sort of desperate to get the best kids and that. It's crazy. It's
mental. So how did it go then, mate? Joining Wimbledon at such a young age.
It was good. I always really enjoyed it. Just sort of progressed quite easily through the years. Like, there was never really any drama sort of thing. I always sort of kept them improving, and just kept getting, like, you know, your 2-year contracts every 2 years. They said, like, you know, we're happy with you and stuff. And then got to about 14, 15, and I was really small, and I grew about 2 foot from like 14 to 16.
Did you?
I was smallest in my class when I was 14. And then when you grow quickly and you just look like a giraffe, like just look really Bambi on ice almost. And I was a bit panicking that I wouldn't get a contract because I just looked really bad for a couple of years. It's like balance and my technique. I think some people say I'd probably not come back, but you know, I lost all that kind of naturalness, and I was a bit worried. But I got some of my professional, some of my YTSs, and then obviously you boys all come down, and sort of we had a few more join in and stuff, and sort of into that sort of youth team environment.
Yeah. Oh, one person we didn't mention there is Kingsley, you know, famous Akala.
Yeah. He's I mean, when we was younger, he was so bright, wasn't he? He was like, you know, he was so like he is now. You know, you'd say something to him, and he'd come back with all these facts, and then everyone was telling him he had a massive head and to shut up. So it was quite. But yeah, he's his sister was Miss Dynamite, wasn't she?
Miss Dynamite, yeah.
And Kingsley's done really well for himself, and he did a little bit of music, and then now obviously, Akala. I don't know where that's come from, but
yeah, he's a proper public figure now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a smart boy, to be fair, isn't he? So he speaks with a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, good. So at Wimbledon, mate, you went full time. That's when we met.
Okay.
Outside of the football, we had some good party nights and stuff like that. But here, your journey was quite smooth, mate, wasn't it? You know, like, although the club was in a wee bit of turmoil, you got quite an opportunity early.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky, really, that sort of at 18, 19, it sort of opened up for a little bit with the club sort of declining and people sort of leaving, and there was sort of a few opportunities. And I think when they went into administration, sort of pretty much everyone left that was sort of any sort of note in the first team, and just opened up a few gaps, and I was lucky enough to get a chance and sort of took it, really. But it was I think there was like a summer where about 6-9 months where I was sort of stuck in the reserves, not really training, not really with the first team. And I was, I think if I'd been there in a nap for a little bit longer, it could have gone the other way, but I was lucky that I got my break and managed to get into that first team environment, and then I never really looked back really once I got there.
Yeah. What did that look like, Dino? So from being in that, like in the wilderness a little bit, what did it look like making that step up?
It was hard. I mean, there was some good players still. There was like David Connolly and Shipley was still. There were some talented boys. It was always quicker. The pace of it always shot me when like the first couple of times I trained, and just that intensity. And I wouldn't say will to win because we was quite an aggressive youth team. We used to sort of demand and have far fights and that kind of stuff, but there was that real intensity in the first team. It was it was really strong, and I think I was quite lucky that Nigel and sort of Wade were already in that first team environment, and Mick. So you knew a few people. I think the first time you go over, you don't know any of the first team players, and you just feel like I don't want to make a mistake or be the worst player, and you have that kind of fear. So it was nice knowing someone, and then knowing you to sort of like reassure you a little bit. So it was quite lucky that there was a lot of our youth team already involved.
Yeah. And then you made your debut. What was it? Towards the end of 2003.
Yes. No. 2003. Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday away.
Was that what? Wimbledon. Still Wimbledon, wasn't it? Ah, still Wimbledon. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming for Alex Tapp, which was another one of our lads. Come on left for about 2 minutes at Hillsborough, and I was after about 30 seconds. I thought, I'm so far out of my depth here. I shouldn't be here. So quick, and I remember I couldn't get my breath. I was only on the pitch for about 4 minutes. I mean, no one probably even knew I was on the pitch, but it just felt unbelievable. Like the speed of it and how quickly it all moved, and sort of the first time really with a crowd and stuff. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, good. So fast forward to the next year, mate. That's when it really kicked off for you, wasn't
it? Yes, and then next season was I was sort of stuck in that little bit of a wilderness. I was sort of in between, and then around November time, I got into the team, and then ended up playing, I think, 29, 30 games that season, sort of off the bat, and played sort of reasonably well and did okay, really. And that was sort of like the start of sort of my journey a little bit. And I was kind of lucky in a way that, as a young kid, sometimes you go in and then you have a few bad games and you get bought out again. But we had no one to take you out of, so you sort of learnt the hard. Is lucky because you play through the bad games. When I think if you had a bigger squad, I would have definitely been sort of pulled out. But it's sort of
benefited you, mate.
Yeah, it did. It sort of made you get through it, and it's definitely benefited me in the long term. It definitely toughens you up.
Yeah, that's cool, mate. Basically, you've been in the team every game ever since.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What was that? 17 years straight, mate.
16 years, yeah. 16 MK now, yeah. So I think I played plus 40 games for 15 of them years. I think something like that. I think it's
mad.
Now, yeah.
So what was it like, when the transition was going on from like Wimbledon moving to Milton Keynes and stuff like that as a player?
It was really hard. It was, as you know, like we lived 5 minutes down the road. We was local to the area, and for us moving away to Milton Keynes was a bit of a pain, really, because it was, all our friends and that around here, and then you up the M1 to Milton Keynes was not great. The abuse and the stick that used to get was crazy. It was like a world war almost. Like some of the games, and you'd get people come up to you, and it was quite nasty. It was like
well, like Wimbledon fans.
Yeah. There was a lot of. Milton Keynes was pretty passive, really. Like they weren't really sort of for or against it. They were sort of like kind of got imposed on them a little bit by chairman, but. Obviously the Wimbledon fans that felt that it shouldn't happen, and that side of it, they sort of come out against it, and it sort of left you in a little bit of a position where you didn't really know what to do, because I was a Wimbledon player. I've been there since I was sort of 7 or 8, but I just got in the team, and legally it still is the same club. It's a really weird thing of it is that your contracts are still Wimbledon when we moved.
Right.
The club actually just basically changed its name. It didn't stop and then start again. It just sort of carried on, and so it was one of them where you just sort of left in that position, and you just sort of went with it. But I think there was sort of like 10 lads from the youth team that went. So in the end, it was a bit of an adventure. All of us up the road and all sort of living together and stuff. So it had its good sides to it, but the first year was really tough.
Yeah. Was that like the first time you've ever been away from home? Do you know?
It was, yeah. First time. Bought a flat in Milton Keynes, which was probably just a little bit too far to drive. So bought a flat up there, and first time being away, sort of like cooking and cleaning for yourself, and kind of makes you grow. It sounds so simple, but when you're 18 or 19, those things are massive, aren't they? To sort of take care of yourself.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Yeah. When you come down, you got a nice landlady to look after you. But
yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, it was Bobby Childs' mum and dad.
Oh, was it?
I was Bobby's mum and dad. Yeah. So I mean, they were like second parents to me, mate.
Yeah.
When me and Janine got married, what was that, 6 years ago now? They came up for our wedding and everything. I still keep in touch with them to this day.
That's good.
Oh no, they're brilliant, mate. Brilliant. So going up the road, mate, and having your having to do your own washing and cleaning and that, amongst other stuff. Do you think that had an effect on like your game and everything else moving away?
I think it made you a little bit more responsible, and definitely in terms of like, when I was younger, like you're not up until 1 or 2 in the morning because your mum and dad are there, so you have to, you're in bed and whatever, and then all of a sudden you're in your own space. If you want to stay up till 4 in the morning, you can. There's no sort of limits, and having that sort of self-discipline of eating right and sleeping and looking after yourself, I think it sort of made you grow up a little bit quicker and sort of take care of yourself a little bit better. And I think on the pitch, I think it does help sort of that leadership sort of thing of being sort of, a man and looking after yourself. I think it did help.
That's cool. That's cool. So talk me through it then. What's the journey been like? Take one a little journey.
It's been pretty good, to be fair to me. I mean, I just love playing football. So like I said, I played a lot of games, and that's always been my love is just playing, really. So I've been really lucky in terms of that. I think over the years we've had some good managers. We've had some big names down there, and played with some good players and stuff, and promotions in there, a few relegations. But on the whole, it's always enjoyable. I think you just don't really sometimes that sort of changing room atmosphere, like that camaraderie you have with each other is something that people don't quite get sometimes. It's just how close you actually are with all the boys and
the banter.
And, it's that change. It's changed a bit now from when we were younger. It's a lot more
professional.
Nice. Yeah, everyone's looks after you now. But when we was younger, it was brutal, wasn't it? It was. It was. You had to be on your guard every day. It was like you're gonna get stripped or beaten up or whatever it was coming down. But now it's all it's changed, but it's still that sort of the banter and that sort of camaraderie in the change room it's been great. And I'm lucky that I'm involved in that for so long.
That's cool. Okay, so I've got a couple of names for you, mate. Right, Dele Alli.
Superstar, yeah. He's something like that. He was a top lad, to be fair. He was a really nice boy. He was miles better than everyone. Like 15, he come over and he just had this air of confidence about him. I think he nutmegged one of our best players at his first touch. And everyone was just like, who is this kid? But he had this just almost he didn't care. I wouldn't say he didn't, but that was the kind of his persona. It was just like he would try anything. You know, he'd shoot from 40 yards, and he'd just look at you and say like, "Why are you having a go at me? That I've not passed it. Like I can score from here." He had real inner confidence, and he was, you know, obviously he was super talented. He was talented, and he's the fittest kid I've ever played with. He's serious. Yeah, he can run. He runs at not sprinting, but just below a sprint pace. He can just maintain it for literally hours. He's an absolute machine. And off the pitch, he's a great lad. To be fair, he's a bit of a throwback in a way. He likes his when he was younger, he liked his nights out and his, you know, his little misdemeanors and stuff. He was a bit of a throwback, and he was, you know, he was a good lad. He fit in really well. To be fair, and, you know, he
was he one that you just knew was going to go on?
Yeah. I mean, it surprised me how well he has done so quickly.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him playing where I always thought he was a centre midfielder, just because of his energy, do box to box. So it surprised me where he's ended up playing in that sort of little hole.
Yeah.
But he was, you know, at 16, he was sort of some player. I think staying with us for a little bit probably done him a world of good. That he sort of built up his confidence, and when he left, there was about 10, 15 Premier League teams trying to sign him. They all wanted him to go in under 23s. I think Liverpool tried to sign him, and they said like you'd be under 23, and he was adamant he wanted to play in the first team. And Spurs said,
sorry, Dean, 2 seconds, mate. Are you on Wi-Fi?
I am, yeah. Is it bad?
Want to try and go on a 4G? Someone's just messaging saying getting interference.
Hang on 2 seconds. Any better?
That's better, mate. That's sound. All good. So sorry, mate. But you just knew that he was going to go all the way. You there?
Nope. I'm there, bud. That better?
Yeah. Good, mate.
You're good.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, sound, man. Sound. Yeah, so we're just going on about Dele Alli. You knew that he was going to go all the way.
Yeah, he was just so talented. He was ridiculously talented. He had that inner drive as well that all the top players seem to have. He just sort of had that air of confidence about him, and no, he's, as I said, I'm surprised it happened so quickly for him, but
yeah,
he's sort of gone on and had an unbelievable career already at such a young age. Really
you were saying that obviously there was loads of clubs wanting to sign him, but they were only wanting him to go in the 23s.
Yeah, there was pretty much every Premier League club was sort of there, and Liverpool had like Steven Gerrard ring him up, and they were sort of trying to butter him up and stuff. But there was all for the 23s, and he was adamant that he wasn't going to go to, like, he didn't want to go play at 23s. He wanted to play first team, and and sort of said like, you can have a pre-season with us, and if you're good enough, you'll play. And he went there. He won every pre-season test. He won, just obliterated the whole lot of them. And we played a pre-season game against, I think it was Brackley, which is like a lower level non-league team in England, and we got back in the chain. Boys were on Twitter saying like, Dele's just nutmegged Modric, and Tottenham played Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in their pre-season game, and that was his first game, and he nutmegged Modric in the middle of the pitch and then passed it, and we were just like, and we just played Brackley, and he was at the Bernabeu nutmegging Modric. It was crazy. Gone into this like different stratosphere, but yeah, he was some player.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. What was it like playing under Paul Ince?
Good. First time, really good. First time was really good. He was like the first manager to sort of talk to you. Like, we had a lot of lower league managers that were sort of very sort of professional and direct sort of thing, and he was the first one to sort of like even give you a day off. Like, I never had a day off in my life.
Yeah.
Like the Wednesday, he sort of come up to you and said, like, you know, how you feeling? You'd be like, yeah, I feel all right. And he was like, listen, I'll see you Thursday. And you were just like, no, I'm okay. And he was like, go and play some golf. Like, see you Thursday. You're doing great. Like, and he sort of had that different feel about him. You know, he just sort of treated you a little bit differently. And first time was really enjoyable. He had a really good team. We won promotion and won like the Johnson's Paint Trophy, which is like a lower level sort of cup. But you play at Wembley and all that, so you know it's a good experience. But it was I liked him. He used to join in training and stuff, and he like had 2 foot year, and like he was nuts.
Did he have that presence about himself in the dressing room?
Yeah, he was. I mean, I think because he was the name Paul Ince, and you know, you grow up watching him.
Yeah.
When he spoke, everyone listened to him, and you know, a well done to him was worth 10 well done from anyone else. Like, it was like, you know, if he said you've got a good game today, he felt on top of the world.
Yeah.
Which was for our level at the time. You know, we was League Two. It meant a lot. I think as he went up the levels, I think your name probably means less, and I think you found out at Black probably did a little bit more than just your reputation. I think there's more important things at the higher level.
Yeah.
But first time we had him, he was great. I really enjoyed under him.
Yeah. So Dino, you play the full season in the Championship, every game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You played every game. What's the level like going from that League One and playing week in, week out in the Championship?
It's a big jump. To be fair, it's a big jump. Even just the grounds, like you go from like an Acton Stanley to a Derby, like it just all the clubs every week is a club or big stadiums. Actual football, I wasn't 100% impressed with. To be honest with you, I think a lot of it was quite poor. But every team has got a good player or a decent striker.
Yeah.
And you know that the amount of times come off the pitch saying we played really well, but we lost 1-0 or we lost 2-1. Like, you know, just like a lot more clinical. I think like most level steps up, it's 2 boxes. I think sort of, you know, that they finished a bit better and defended their box a bit better, but the bits in between, like the large majority of games, wasn't that much more impressive.
I think teams have got there's that much at stake, because they're so close between who wins it and like who just survives relegation. I think there's no really. I think things have changed now with your Leeds and your West Broms. They play a lot more football, but for a long time it was really like hustle and bustle and battle through, get the 3 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was more so than League One. I mean, you always think League One would be quite brutal, but I think because it's a little bit off the spotlight, coaches will try and do stuff, and you know, a lot of games are actually quite technical.
Yeah,
I think Championship so evenly matched. It's just a bit of a free fall. It's just, you know, I used to watch it on TV thinking like, why are they not passing it? Why are they not getting it down? And when you're in there, like it's just 100 miles an hour, and you just like get rid of it, just like, you know, ball bouncing, like dances, and then they do the same. It ended up being like, you know, it's like Tuesday, Saturday. It's relentless, and you know, when you look at the games, there's no easy games. Like there's no small clubs in there. They're all big teams and
massive.
Yeah,
massive. Who was the gaffer when you got to the Championship?
Carl Robinson.
Carl Robinson. What was it like playing for him? Because he started as a manager at 29.
Yeah, he was Ince's assistant before.
Right.
He sort of come in and took over. But he was good. He was really good, Carl. His football was sort of, he's made it stamp. Our club now is known for passing really, and that's all sort of through Carl really. He sort of developed that style, very much like a Premier League sort of style of sort of centre half split and play out from the back, and he was good. I really enjoyed playing for him. It was good to actually play in a team that wanted to pass it and played the right way.
Yeah. Is that like is MK Dons sort of built that into their infrastructure now? That whoever they're going to bring in, they've got to be a passing manager, passing style play.
They did for a while, and then they your man up there, Robbie Nielsen, come in and changed it around a little bit. But since they've gone back to, I don't think they ever come away from it now. I think they had a little experiment of changing it a little bit, and I think now they'll always be that way. I think they've sort of structured the youth system to play that no matter what, really. I think. Yeah,
I mean, Robbie Nielsen, he just brought my team Dundee United back up into the Premiership in Scotland, but then yesterday he just went back to Hearts.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But I mean, like with Dundee United, he did try to play some football.
I did it, yeah.
Yeah. What was it like for you guys?
Me and him sort of didn't have the greatest relationship, but the first 6 months, I enjoyed him. I thought it was good, and then we sort of just, I wouldn't say we fell out. He just sort of didn't want me in the team, which it's completely fair enough. He sort of had different ideas of where he wanted to go and stuff, and so ended up sort of having sort of like a 3-month hiatus. Really, he sort of banned me from the club and wasn't allowed to go to. Yeah, it wasn't allowed at the training ground. And
what do you do then? What do you do during that?
I used to watch Soccer Saturday at home. It was just like the weirdest 3 months of my career. It was we sort of had a falling out. He kind of said like, you won't play for the club again. We're going in a different direction, which was, he's entitled to. He was the manager sort of thing, and then I signed a 2-year contract with him in the summer before, so I wasn't in any rush to sort of leave, and so I went to train with Oxford Charlton, because Carl Robinson had gone there, so I went to keep my fitness up and train with Charlton for a bit, and then sort of our results were getting worse and worse, and then he sort of got the tin tack around December, and then I got a call from the chairman and said, you're allowed to come back now. So
Brilliant, mate. Well, here he's obviously back to Hearts. So United, they've just been relegated as well.
Yeah, but are they not suing? Are Hearts not suing Dundee or something? Is that
Hearts? What? No, I don't think they're suing Dundee. I think they're trying to sue or take the Scottish football to court, mate. Because I think Hearts and Partick Thistle have been relegated, and I think in France and in Belgium, the teams who got relegated have just won a court case saying that it's against the law to relegate them.
Oh, okay.
So Hearts are trying to challenge that now.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So he's away anyway. What was Roberto Di Matteo like?
Really, really frosty for the first 3 months. Wouldn't say hello to anyone. Just used to ignore you pretty much. Very rarely see him on a training ground. You sort of just stand and watch. You wouldn't really take much. And we had a pre-season camp, and Keith Andrews was the captain back then. And I think Keith was going to have a punch up of him really, because he just didn't say hello to anyone, or really like standoffish. And he rang the chairman and said like, listen, this has got to change. And then overnight he used to shake your hand every day. He knew you'd come in, he'd shake your hand, and he sort of changed it around and become okay, but he was a bit offish, if you know. I was very surprised we'd done so well with him.
Do you think it was he straight up big time? Do you think that's what it was?
I think there was a degree of arrogance. Yeah, I think it was a degree of. I mean, one of his first sessions, he laughed. One of the boys went to have a touch, and it sort of bounced off his shin, and he started laughing at him, and everyone was like, "What's he doing?" Like, it was a really weird, and like he kind of had that air of arrogance. Anyway, I wouldn't say he was, but it kind of bordered on it. The way he used to act sometimes, it didn't help his cause. It was he rubbed people up the wrong way, and yeah, I was surprised he won the Champions League, which was incredible. But
I know.
he was a bit standoffish. I think it was his first job. I don't know if he knew what the lower levels really entailed or what it was like. So I think he was a little bit maybe eyes open with sort of some of the antics and stuff. But in the end, he got better. But at the start, he was very standoffish.
Mm-hmm. You've been like, a one club man. There's really one club which has become two club, but you've been at the same place your whole career. Like, do you regret any of that? Do you wish that you maybe would have tried somewhere in the past, or have you been happy?
I have been happy. I mean, that's really the real reason why I've always stayed. Is that I've always loved it there. It's always enjoyed it, and for the first few years there was always something going on in terms of like, we were building a stadium, or we were doing, we got promotion, or there was always something where you thought, I'll stay for another year because we've got a new stadium next year, or we just got promoted. Look back now and you do think, there was a few chances where you think maybe I should have pushed harder to leave, but I was always of that opinion that like once you sign your contract, like I don't really agree with people like putting in their transfer request and that thing. So it was never sort of bad to sort of kick up a fuss and leave. And once you get past a certain point, you think I've got to stay for all of it now because I'll just do the whole lot sort of thing. So, but yeah, I think it's double-edged sword. I've definitely loved it there and I've enjoyed it, and that's why I have stayed. But I do wonder what it would be to experience something different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it'll never happen again, but it's very unlikely that you're going to see many Dean Lewingtons doing what you've done in a career. Yeah,
it's harder. It's especially down in the lower leagues, because you only ever sign like a 1 or 2 year contract.
Yeah.
So like there's huge turnover most of the time. So I think it will happen less and less, and it was quite unique in a way that it come about just because of Wimbledon becoming an MK, and there was a lot of stuff going on, which is kind of at the start where I probably didn't move on when I was younger, just because I'd got in the team, and then MK was just this new club that was doing new things, and it was quite exciting. I think if it happened again, you'd probably move on in those early years where you're doing well and you sort of strike when the iron's hot a little bit.
Yeah. Was it Huddersfield you nearly made the move to?
I knew at Huddersfield, yeah. I agreed a contract at Huddersfield, and I was pretty close to going there, and then that sort of fell through. And then I was close to joining Fulham one season. The club just they valued me at like £1 million, which, as you know, nowhere near that much money. They massively overvalued me, and it killed off any interest sort of thing. But it was quite. I'd agreed my terms with Fulham as well, which was quite frustrating. But it just didn't happen, and I was always, some players when they get that move, it doesn't happen, they sort of just down tools. But I was sort of never really prepared to do that, so I've always just got on with it a little bit.
So what's the plans now, mate?
Plans, one more year, I think, is the plan. See how I go, see how I feel, see how I play, I suppose. Is just sort of take it in small steps now. I think as you get older, it's just like the next game rather than sort of look any further. And then the really hard part is to work out after football, really, which is a little bit of a head scratcher, really, because it's so hard to sort of think outside of what you've always known, which is something I do that.
Is management where you think you're going to go then?
No, I don't think so. No, I've had to start doing my badges and started to do a little bit of coaching, but it's in honesty, it's not something I really enjoyed doing. The last time I did it, I might do it again. So they do say as you get older, you sort of have you appreciate it a little bit more. But I fancy a bit of a change or something different.
Do you think your old man became an assistant to lower the stress levels in his life?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he's always suffered a little bit because he's not quite, doesn't have that name through his career.
Yeah.
I think the way it's gone, like everyone's after that big name or a player that's been a top class player. So he's always been a fairly respected coach, but never so much had the name to get the jobs really. I do think that number 2 is definitely a you can walk away from it. Your name's not the one getting put through the mud, and if you usually sort of have a little bit of a shield, sort of, I think it does play a part in. I think he's definitely happier as a number 2. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, mate, here it's been a great chat. It's been great catching up.
I was going to tell one story about you, Dean. I was remembered that story.
Come on.
When we was in Kingston, and we'd had a few drinks, and we was walking back to the taxi rank, and you said to some geezer, your shoelaces are undone, and he was wearing a pair of loafers, and you were in a fight in the street for about 15 minutes.
Fight?
A fight over your joke about a pair of shoelaces.
I can't remember that, mate.
You had your glasses on.
Did I win?
And you had one of your lenses come out your glasses, and me and you were outside McDonald's trying to find your lens that come out your glasses.
Can't remember that, mate. Can't remember. I must have been bothered.
You definitely was, yeah.
Sound. Who do you keep in touch with, mate, from the team? Anybody you still keep in touch with?
Yeah, so I speak to Nigel, Sam Slomer, still see Sam, and then a bit of Wade, a bit of Melvin, and then a few of you boys on Facebook, and sort of randomly bump into a few people every now and then at a game or something. So I know we tried to sort out meeting up this summer, but obviously we couldn't do it. But
yeah,
great to see
definitely. We've got to do it next year, mate.
Yeah.
You're the only one still left in the game, aren't you?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think Joby was at Leighton Orient last year, but I don't think he's playing this year.
I think he's a coach now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a coach. Yeah, so I think I might be the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I bumped into Big Patrick Adjaman a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing fitness work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hear some players, mate. Even Mikel as well. Mikel Laserwood.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he?
What a player, mate. Right, Dino, spot on, my man. It's been great having you on.
Well, great to have a chat.
Much appreciated. You have a good one. And guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Drop any comments in the box. Share away. That would be much appreciated. And we shall catch you soon.